wasn't until they showed that you actually had a reason to be moaning.
Yeah.
When you were watching the show, and when it aired, were you thinking, oh, all these people that are saying I'm a moaning pregnant woman, wait till they see this episode?
Yeah, I was. The thing is, at the beginning, we didn't think what the response, because obviously we was looking at a point what actually happened in the end of me getting sick.
Yeah.
So when we was watching the episodes from 1 to 8, we was looking at thinking, yeah, I'm going to get sick, I'm going to get, obviously the audience don't know that.
That's right.
So we wasn't thinking in that sense. So, but when I started hearing people saying, oh, she's moaning, it's attention seeker, I was like, okay, well, let them just watch the rest of the programs, Then, even after episode, I used to say to many people are going to moan, saying that she's moaning again. He's saying, no, it's fine. But, yeah, I was waiting for them to see that episode.
For all those people that thought you were moaning, you can eat their words. Seema, did you have a question?
Yeah, I did. During your pregnancy, towards the end of the stages, you were obviously heavily pregnant and perhaps even due, not so far from dewing. And we saw over the course of the last few episodes that you were like having pains either in your stomach a lot, and you could see that you were in pain through obviously the visuals. And then your wonderful husband, Jeet, decides to go to India. Just about, and you realise that you are having a few more problems. But how did you feel? Like, obviously, as Sanyya's mentioned, a lot of people you felt that a lot of people see you as this moaning pregnant woman. But bearing in mind, emotions are everywhere, hormones are everywhere. At this most important time, sorry, Jeet, but at this most crucial time, like, how did you feel? It was quite obvious that you were really, really upset, but did you feel a lot more lonely, or what were your
why did you leave her when she was not feeling well? Let's answer that question.
Well, I think, I don't know, in one of the episodes, I think it was episode 6, I actually say that everyone thinks I'm moaning. Even in the program, I say it as well. That, I was sort of talking to G in the bedroom, that I think everyone thinks I'm moaning in the house, but I'm not. I'm really in a lot of pain. I think no one actually really knew how much pain I was in. And in this pregnancy, it was a hard pregnancy right from the beginning for me. I started getting pains right, like the morning sickness and everything, but my back started hurting. You might have seen me in the program when I was walking, I couldn't walk because my back was hurting constantly. And then when I told the doctor...
That was the most appalling part of it, though. Why didn't the doctors realize there was an issue with it?
It's amazing. I just don't know. It's just, they used to say to me, I said, I can't breathe. And they said, oh, it's your diaphragm because you're pregnant and you can't breathe. So no one picked anything up, and it felt, obviously everyone was thinking, even in the house might be thinking, she's just moaning, she wants attention. But no one actually, even I didn't know how sick I was. And then it came to a point when I did get sick, I was ready not to tell anyone.
Well, actually, it spoke volumes about the NHS. I mean, it just said a lot more about them than anything else, that whole situation.
Yeah.
Gee, you didn't answer the question. Why did you leave your pregnant wife?
Okay, you know. I thought, because it was almost 1 year since I visited my family in India, I thought, let's go there.
Yeah.
Just spend 2 weeks. And I was doing one show also over there. And I said, let's make some money also, and let's visit my mom and dad. And I'll come back. Then obviously, after the baby, I thought I won't be able to go back for next 7-8 months. So she still had 2 months to go and 8 weeks. So it's not just, it's not an excuse, actually.
Well, no, you did deliver early, didn't you?
I delivered 2 months early, but I don't blame him. It wasn't his fault because,
Well,
like
you did on the TV show.
No,
yes,
but
you did.
on the program I used to say, what if the baby comes, because I was in a lot of pain, but from the time that I was given from the doctors, it was another 2 months to go.
Well, we were all on Team Kaki, by the way, when all that was happening. I mean, I'm actually getting Team Kaki shirts made up because...
She still had 2 months to go, and baby didn't come because of pregnancy, but because her lungs collapsed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I had no idea that thing's going to happen because I preponed my ticket. I was coming back on 29th anyways because our final scan was on 30th of July. So I preponed my ticket, and I was doing my rehearsals every day there, and I took 3 days off from the actors. I said, okay, 3 days I'm going to spend with my family, then obviously I'm going to go back. On Friday, she texted me that I'm in the ICU. That's it. Then.
And I couldn't talk because I just couldn't breathe. So, and he started calling me
Well, it was
straight
touch
away.
and go for you. I mean, watching the show, it was like there was that chance that you might not actually come through.
The thing is, when I was taken into hospital, the night that I went to sleep and I had a fever, and I said to my mum, I got a bit of cold, and I normally I had the fan on that night because it was so hot. And that night I didn't put the fan on. She goes, why aren't you putting the so it was about 12 o'clock midnight, and I said, look mum, I got a temperature, I'm not feeling, so I took painkillers and I went to bed. At 3 o'clock I got up, I went to the toilet crying, just trying to get to the bathroom because I couldn't walk. And that's when my brother Sonny heard me. Now, I was just going to go back to bed, take more painkillers, and go back to sleep with the pain. And I went back to bed, but he heard me. If he didn't hear me, the doctors had said if I had gone back to bed, I wouldn't have woken up in the morning. So I went back to bed, and he heard me crying, and I was sitting in bed crying, lying down, and I couldn't breathe. Now, lucky he heard me, and my mum came. If they didn't, in the morning it would have been a different story completely. And when I went into hospital, I just didn't know what was happening, because 1 minute they were saying it's swine flu, because it was quite high in swine flu that time, and a lady had just died, a pregnant woman had just died. So I remember saying to the nurse, I held her hand and I said, I don't want to die. And my mum was in the back, and I could see it, she was crying. We was in this labour room at the time. Then they took me to ICU, and next minute I know they're saying we're going to deliver your baby. And I said, you can't, my husband's not here. And I remember saying that my husband's not, can you not wait for 2 days? And they said, we can't treat, it's not your baby's fine, because they were monitoring the baby.
How far along were you?
I was 7 months. So I delivered at 32 weeks, and they said, it's not the baby, we can't wait. So obviously after that I didn't know. When they took, I know up to the point when they took me into theatre, I was fighting for my breath. I just could not breathe. When they put me to sleep, and that was it. I didn't know. Then I was on a life support machine for 3 days after that, and I didn't see my son for a week, and my daughter, who I've never stayed without. When Jeet came back from India, they had taken me off the ventilators. He came back after 3 days by the time he got back. And I remember saying to him, and I told my family, don't cry or laugh in front of me, just I can't cope. So for a few days in the room I was kept on saying, as long as everyone's fine, like my kids are fine, I'm happy. But obviously after a few days I started crying, and I needed to just go and see my son and my daughter. But it was a week after when I saw him.
And there was so much going on at that time. Wasn't Shay getting married, and your son was still in the hospital? And
and when I met my son for the first time, in the program where I say he's got a tear in his eye, that was the first time I met him. So for me it was like, he's realised his mother's there, that she's kind. He had a smile on his face and he had a tear in his eye, but that was the first time I met him. So.
And they caught it on camera. Did you have a question?
Now that you've seen all the episodes and you've had a look at them now, is there anything you would go back and change, like something you wish you had never had said or done, and just change the perception of how people might see you?
Good question.
I don't know if we could actually change, because the situations were so different at the time for everyone. We were going through such...
Did you cringe at any part of it? Because I know, watching yourself back on camera, I watch myself back and I'm like, sometimes. Did you guys ever have one of those cringe-worthy moments that you're like, oh, I can't watch this?
I think the thing is, I wasn't my best. Well, they say when you're pregnant, you
were glowing.
Yeah, but for me, I was like, God, I was always. But I don't think we could change anything, because whatever was happening in that situation was happening then. Our lives are changed in a different way now. So if someone was to film us now, we might be different just because of what's going around us. So.
Well, I want to change you, like, obviously the pain she's gone through. So that's the thing.
But that could never change. You never know.
If God just sends me back, you go back. So I change something else. Change the pain seriously, what you went through and everything.
But, well, one thing, even showing all the arguments and stuff, everybody has them. Every couple has it. One thing that was quite clear is that you guys do love each other quite a bit.
Yes, we do.
Even though we have you on different
I know.
But that was quite clear. I want to thank both of you coming on the show and breaking your silence with us. I wish you luck in your future endeavors, and I hope that you guys do some sort of reality show again. Maybe not The Family, but maybe something else.
Yeah, 100%. Why not?
There you go. Yeah. Thank you for watching Broken Silence. I'm Sanyya Gardez. I'll be back next week, same time, same place.